Hello, my name is Sunju and welcome back to Fashion Wonder. In this tutorial, learn how to make the Maisey dress. This Peasant Boho Tunic dress features 3 ruffle tiers with raglan puff sleeves. The adjustable neckline strap allows you to make a cute bow tie, and the simple waist tie accentuate your waistline. Grab this sewing pattern and sew along with me. To sew gathering on sleeve piece, fold the bottom sleeve piece in half and mark the center on both top and bottom with water erasable pen. Adjust the stitch length to 3.5 and wide straight stitch lengthwise 1/4 inch away from the cut edge. Gently pull the back thread and evenly distribute the gathering. Place the right side of sleeve pattern and right side of the bottom sleeve piece together and pin on the center mark and distribute the gathering and stitch 3/8 of an inch seam allowance and overlock stitch to finish. Press the seam with iron and ensure the seam allowance is facing toward the opening of the sleeve. To sew gathering on skirt tiers, fold the front top skirt pattern piece in half and mark the center on top and bottom with erasable pen. Straight stitch with 3.5 stitch length 1/4 inch away from the top edge and gently pull the back thread to create even gathering. Also, mark the center front of the front top piece with erasable pen. This will be the notch to match with the first tier. Pin to secure and 3/8 of an inch stitch along seam allowance and overlock stitch to finish. Place the 2 pieces of front-bottom skirt facing each other, join with 3/8 of an inch seam allowance and overlock to finish. Press the seam towards the side and with 3.5 stitch length, sew straight stitch for gathering. Match the mark on top skirt and bottom skirt pieces. Pull the thread gently to create gathering, so from mark point to side seam you have even gathers on both sides. Pin to secure and 3/8 of an inch stitch along seam allowance and overlock stitch to finish. Fold the back top skirt piece in half and mark the center on top and bottom with pen. Also, mark the center back of back top piece on the bottom edge. Apply 1/4 inch away from top edge 3.5 straight stitch for gathering. Start at the mark point and slowly pull the back thread together until it matches the length of side seam on both sides. Pin to secure and 3/8 of an inch stitch along seam allowance and overlock stitch to finish. Lastly, repeat the center marking on back bottom skirt piece and add 3.5 wide straight stitch for gathering that matches the length of back top skirt. To attach sleeve to the dress, match the single notch from front sleeve piece and front top piece right side facing each other and pin. Sew 3/8 of an inch seam allowance and finish with overlock on both front sleeves. Now, match the double notch from back sleeve piece and back top piece right side facing each other and pin to secure. Straight stitch along the raglan seam 3/8 of an inch and overlock to finish. Press the seam on front and back away from center. We will use flat sew sleeve method in this tutorial where you will place right side of front and back facing each other and sew 3/8 of an inch seam allowance from sleeve opening under the sleeve to the side seam of the dress. It's quite simple and easy to attach sleeve to the dress. Don't forget to finish the edges with overlock stitch. To assemble the tunic dress, clip the V-point about 1/4 inch with scissors and place 1 inch width by 7 inch long bias cut strap to finish the binding around the keyhole. Place right side of the strap on top of right side of the front and 1/4 inch top stitch. Fold over the strap to the wrong side of the neck and double fold again to edge top stitch and secure. If you're new to sewing binding on neckline, I'll link into the tutorial where you can learn more about how to make and sew bias binding. Adjust your sewing machine to 3.5 stitch length and start straight stitching 1/4 inch away from the edge and binding. Gently pull the back thread to evenly distribute the gathering along the front and back neckline. Ensure that the neck opening is about 8 inches when measured straight. Next, cut 1 inch width by 62 inches long bias cut binding and place right side facing each other, then pin to sew 1/4 inch seam allowance. Fold over the bias binding to the wrong side of the fabric and double fold to top stitch. Quarter inch away from the sleeve opening, straight stitch with 3.5 stitch length for gathering. Pull the back thread to create gathering so the opening of the sleeve is about 5 inch flat and 10 inches total. Prepare 2 pieces of bias binding strap for sleeve opening that are 1 inch width by 10.5 inch long for medium. Join the ends of strap with 1/4 inch seam allowance stitch. Slide through on the right side of the sleeve facing each other and 1/4 inch stitch around the sleeve. For best practices, match the seam of binding and sleeve seam allowance so it is easy to sew around. Fold the binding to the wrong side to double fold and edge top stitch to finish. To finish the hem of the dress, narrow double fold the hem 1/4 inch width and straight stitch the hemline. Lastly, I added a self waist tie. Fold the strap in half and 1/4 inch seam allowance stitch. Use loop turner to flip the strap inside out and finish both ends with double fold and straight stitch, or push inside to hand base the opening for a clean finish. Give a nice press throughout the dress and all the seam allowance facing correct direction to finalize this beautiful peasant-inspired boho tunic dress. Thank you for watching. Hope this sewing tutorial inspires you to make a Maisey tunic dress. Grab the Maisey dress sewing pattern in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share your DIY clothing with me on Instagram at #FashionWanderOfficial. See you in the next tutorial. Bye!